For sure. Yeah. So I don't know. I think we always end up doing these podcasts, and I always end up turning into an interviewer. I feel like it's way more fun just to like talk about stuff and just have a conversation. But I mean, what do you guys think about like the whole cypher and like the performance last night? Like, how does it stack up to like what you guys have been doing like recently?
Crazy. I feel like all of the performance that we've done recently, they've all been different, but this one is different than all of the ones that we've ever done. We used to do shows at this place called the AC Lounge, and this group in San Diego would throw a show every Wednesday night called Hip Hop Weds.
Yeah.
And it was in like a smaller venue that probably fits like 200, but that's like generous, you know?
Yeah.
And it would get packed in there, and they would have like featured acts, and then it would just be ciphers at the beginning and at the end of the night till 2 a.m. Very similar like to what y'all do. And it would end up like that. But there would be some people that were like, you know, curating it, like making sure like the dope spitters go in there, and some of the people that would like be like, all right, start taking mics because these people aren't, you know? Like we gotta. But it reminded me of that, but this one was just even crazier energy, like times 10, not even like comparable.
Like, I don't think I've ever been, like, surrounded in, like, a circle like that ever. Yeah. That's special for sure.
Yeah. And that place would always be a half circle because the booth was in the back of the wall. So everybody would circle around and go around, but it wasn't a full circle. Being in a full circle is just different energy. And it's almost like you don't know where to look because we always, like, don't like to give our back to the crowd, but you have to in this thing. So it's cool that there's two of us. So we'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we just figured out what we were doing.
You guys did a great job too, like circling and looking at everybody too. I was like, it was a really good performance.
Trying to like wherever he was looking, I was trying to look the opposite way to be like interactive. You know,
you made a great connection with everybody.
Thank you, man. And then you holding it down the whole time, and I wish people could see what you were doing, but they got it on film, so that's gonna be the sick part.
Yeah, for sure. Everything got caught on camera for sure, and like I think that like you guys did a good job of like calling attention to it too, and like pointing, you know, the DJ out, and like a lot of people were turning and like watching that, which
that
was
was super sick, dude. I've never had anything like that experience either, like that, like where it's like the crowd is all in a circle, like focused on them, and then like they redirected like towards to me, and then everybody just turned around. Was like the feeling is just incredible, like it's amazing, you know, like where everybody's just like giving all their energy to you, and it's just like whoa, and I can feel it, you know, like I could feel that energy, and like it's just amazing how it's projected.
100%.
It was crazy on your first solo, like when we told everybody, like, look at JG. The crowd stopped the circle and they all tried to get as close to you as possible. And then we were in the crowd, and I was like, I don't know, like, I've never been able to like see you do a solo while being in the crowd.
That's true. You guys are like in the crowd, like.
They're like pushing you out of the way, like, hey, let me see it.
I think I got a video of that too, because I was like, there's, you know, I'm never gonna be able to get this shot again. Like,
100%, yeah. I know. I think there's like, because we were noticing like, they're just like with the local shows here that like there was kind of like, it just didn't. It felt like really underground, and like there was like not very many people showing up. But then like there was something about like being on stage in front of like 30 people that just didn't feel like right. You know, it just kind of felt like we're trying to be something that's not what we are. Like, I think, obviously, you guys have performed a lot recently, more than ever, probably, right? And you've been on a lot of stages, and, like, that's a great... There's still, like, there's a benefit to that, right? For sure. But I think, like, there was something about that, of, like, being raised up that just didn't feel, like, right. And we're just, like... We kind of had this, like, idea in our minds, like, if you bring... that down onto the level of like everybody, it kind of like makes people feel like they're more of a part of it. So I think like I don't know, I think you guys are the best examples so far of like people who like utilize that, like you're saying, like the movement and like, you know, having like the DJ, like multiple elements like involved in there. I think it's really like I don't know, I saw there was one moment in the performance, and I don't know if this was like for like theatrical or like for or part of the performance, but there was like a moment where you guys like hugged each other, and like I think like in my mind, like the way that I interpreted that was like it was kind of like a look where we are, like look at what's happening right now. And I don't know if that's what was happening, but in my mind it seemed like you guys were appreciating that kind of dynamic of like being right there.
That's 100% what it was.
Yeah.
It was
100%,
not planned. That was just like I don't know, just pure love. I love
Yeah.
her. So yeah, I
Yeah,
love
for
both.
sure.
But
Sure.
yeah, I don't know. I was like when they were just cheering, I was like, yep, this is what it is. This
Yeah,
is what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I think like, you know, like the last song, because we were kind of like, you know, we were like, oh, you have 5 minutes. Oh, actually, you have 10 minutes. It was like we were like kind of like going back and forth with the club, trying to like negotiate more time. But that like song, like Get the Kids Out the Cages, like it like I've never experienced like hip hop like speaking to a moment and speaking to like passion and emotion and bringing that out of a crowd like that in my whole like life. And like I'm fucking nerd about hip hop for forever, and it feels like you guys are like meeting a moment that's happening in the United States right now, and obviously like many other places in the world are dealing with similar things. But like how has that felt, like, you know, because there's no way that you guys don't realize that like what you're doing, it's obviously very intentional. So like what is that like to be able to address those emotions and to see like those feelings have a place to live in a hip hop show? Like what does that mean to you guys?
So needed. It's 100% needed. The crazy part about that song is that we made it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it like ended up popping off this year, like
Right.
like really, and you know, we've been fortunate enough to like the power of the internet to make things pop off, but I think just because of how it's been going on, but how much it's like more in your face and the veil is coming down, like it's really resonating with people, and people are hearing it, people are needing the message. And somebody told us last night, and they told me that the music is an essential part of the revolution. It's much needed. I think it's like the drum beat is a heartbeat, you know? So it's the beat to people's struggle. I don't know what you got to say to that.
Yeah, I think it's really important right now with like the ICE raids and all that's happening like all over the place. I think it's really important for people to let out the rage that's in us, pent up, you know, and instead of like being violent, which is like people think we're violent because of the music we make, but honestly we just believe in like sacred rage and like that being important, because people think that you can't be mad, but you certainly have to be mad about things that happen like that. It's really frustrating seeing like children and innocent people in general just like being kidnapped, you know? It's not even, I can't even call it anything else. It's like they're being kidnapped, you know, and we have to use our voice and our vessel to be that for them, you know. So it's really important right now to speak up for those people, and of course all people, you know.
Yeah. Definitely. And I feel like it really is important to like express like your emotions and how you feel, you know, because that's your true self. And when you're like, you know, you're expressing yourself, people can feel that. And, you know, like with everything happening now, it's like, it really is like, it's crazy, you know, and now things are being revealed, and like people are really standing up, you know, and really like, you know, believing in the movement. So it's like when we're those artists and when they're like expressing all those emotions and putting all those lyrics out, it's like people can feel it, you know, and they feel like they have a purpose, you know, then those people feel like they have a purpose, and they're like, you know, I want to do something about it, you know, I want to feel like I want to be a part of this some way, somehow, you know, organizations like start happening, and like things start changing, you know. So I feel like it's really important to really express ourselves and our emotions and how we feel, because it changes, you know, the world, you know, for what we represent and the positivity, you know, positive side of things. So, you know, and people standing up for the same cause and the same message. So I think it's very important.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's so important, especially if you can do it in like a fresh way, that because music is so, how do you say it? It's like, inspirational for you know, better or for worse, you know. It could push people to go into that party lifestyle, do substances or whatnot, or if music is strong enough, it can make people start a revolution.
Exactly.
You know? It could, those small acts, big acts, something, you know, something to start a cultural change, a cultural shift. And that's a huge thing. Is apart from just having a message in there, we want the music to be the best it could be. Like we were talking earlier, like that's the most important mission for us, is just to make sure the music just truly resonates, truly hits, is just the best it could be. You know, whatever the best our definition at that time is. You know.
Yeah.
So if you put it out there and Kids in the Cages is catchy, but it means something, it really gets people to be like, well, what could we do? You know, like maybe I can't make music, but I know how to round people up, or I know how to sign petitions. I know how to, you know, disrupt the system by calling all the congressmen. I know how to, you know, maybe some people will be crazy and be like, I'm gonna break these people out. Who knows what it could happen? But I don't know. When we look back on history and when terrible things have happened, everybody's always like, if I was there, I would have done this. Well, here's your chance to like do something about these atrocities going on.
Yeah.
You know, small as big as you can, because everything it's a ripple effect. So
100%. Yeah, because I like, one thing that I was noticing is like, you know, like I think there's a level of like, you kind of feel like isolated in a certain sense. Like in my experience, I feel like there's certain things that I see, you know, through the media and about what's happening, and you just feel like emotions, but you don't really necessarily like it's not like in everyday life you're expressing those, and like, and maybe you have a conversation with someone and talk about it, but like, you know, like there's so much like pain and sadness and anger that comes from seeing like what's happening and seeing, you know, the reality of it. But, you know, like seeing a room full of people like completely like I was seeing people crying and like really like releasing like, you know, this emotion. I'm like, this is how I feel when I see that, right? Like it's really fucking terrible, but like, you know, that just kind of lives inside of you, and it's like the collective kind of experience of like that performance and like seeing all these people express like a similar sentiment. It's like, oh, I'm not like just like, that's not coming from like some fucked up part in me. It's actually like a real reaction that, you know, like all these people are having. All these people are seeing the same thing, and it's like, you know, I think one thing that was really interesting too about your guys' performance is like, you took a moment, I think it was you that was leading it, but you took a moment to get the crowd to like take some deep breaths and like release some of that negative energy too, because it's like, it's a healing thing. Like what is the motivation behind that? Like where does that kind of like breath work come from, and like why do you think it's important to have a release of these emotions as well?
You know, I think with everything, how I say this, like you're an artist, so we get that release. We do this art because when we want to, we love it, but also like if we didn't do it, we'd be going crazy. You know, it's like there's something that needs to come out, and I feel like a lot of people don't have an outlet. So coming to these shows is like that moment. If you're not everybody's an artist, but if you're not like an artist in that sense, how are you getting that out of you? You know. And that's something that just kind of like came out when we made that song Fed Up. And when we go do the in-betweens and I'm just riffing, I'm just talking to the crowd, because every crowd, every room is going to be different. So just talk to the people and get that real personable thing. That's one thing that I think we do a little different than artists, is actually communicate to the room instead of just rapping our songs. Last night I felt like we hit, I don't know, even though we weren't as rushed as I thought we were going to be, we were kind of running through songs. I like to like, you know, communicate even more, but I think we did a good job in that. But the breath work, I don't know, it just came out at one show where I was just freestyle. I was like, everybody, let's just do this, you know? And now it's just something that I just start doing there. But moreover, I just started noticing like a lot of people telling us that it almost feels like a therapeutic release when we do this, because they get to let out their rage and all those sentiments. And I want I want it to be more than a concert, more than a show, more than, this isn't just a concert. This is a therapy session. This is a community gathering. This is a reason to gather. This is a moment in time. You know, concerts are special with the digital age. Like, so many people could watch your music, watch your videos, and that is what it is. But you know, you gotta see someone live, see them with the raw imperfections that just make live show so beautiful. That's what you go to a live show for, you know? You don't go to a live show to see someone be perfect. You go to a live show to see someone be their best authentic self. And I think that's just really what we try to do. So that breath work came in there just because that's just authentic. That's just what we felt. And yeah, I think you just need that moment to. We talk about heavy stuff, you know, but it doesn't mean it needs to be like not fun, you know.
No,
So
yeah.
as you saw the crowd jumping, so
No,
Yeah,
exactly,
really
right? Yeah. And no, I feel like there's so much, like you guys have so much dynamics to your show that like you're getting a full spectrum of emotions and like, you know, the frustration, but also like, you know, Tomboy is such like a empowering song for like, you know, like I saw so many, like, you know, there was a girl that was standing like across the circle from me with like, you know, cropped short hair, and it was just like as soon as that like song hit, like, you know, I could just see her eyes lighting up, and like, you know, like I actually ended up talking to her after the show, and she mentioned that, and like it seems like you specifically like have like kind of an interest or maybe like a background in like punk or rock or like, because like especially on that song, like it just seemed like you were really letting out. Is that true? Like, do you have a like?
No, not really.
Yeah, really. Okay, interesting. Because
Yeah, I mean, like we rock with a band, so like.
Right.
I don't know, but before the band too, people would be like, "You sound like Zach De La Rocha."
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't even know who that was actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I mean, I don't know where that came from. I think a lot of people also say that's like the anger, the you know.
Yeah.
But I think I was like really quiet as like growing up. So maybe just like what I think is like maybe since I was so quiet and so like no one would really like talk to me type thing, like maybe all those emotions and all that like anger or frustration, like it just kind of like pent up, and now it's like, okay, this is your outlet to use that, like to be loud, to be like here I am, you know? Yeah. I think that's where it came from.
For sure.
Honestly, yeah.
For sure. No, that makes a lot of sense, right? Like, yeah. And I mean, like, yeah, because, like, I was sometimes as, like, an artist or just, like, someone who's a fan of rap, like, I try to, like, I'm like, okay, like, where is, like, the influence, you know, like, I'm trying to catch people, like, oh, you're taking a little bit of this or this, but, like, I think there was, like, I was finding it, like, so difficult to, like, place your guys' like, influences, and I think that's just a testament to how original, like, you guys are. Like, I really feel like last night I was witnessing something that, like, is completely, like, unique to, like, and just so refreshing, too, because it's like you're saying, like, there's so much like inspiration in the wrong direction. I feel like in a time where like so many things are happening in the world that like need to be addressed, and like hip hop has such a unique opportunity to speak to that. But like what are some of the things that inspire you guys, and like that you kind of like look to as like, oh, these are things that we take it, like, you know, like we take inspiration from and that like drive us? Like, is there like music? Is it like, you know, like civil rights leaders? Like, where do you guys like find inspiration for the things that you do, or does it just come from mainly
everywhere, man?
Yeah.
I feel like you just take it in.
Yeah.
You know, it's a crazy thing once you just keep tapping into just the universe, the world.
Yeah.
Everything is coming through your vessel. We're very emotional people, as you could tell in our music.
Yeah.
And literally anything, a small video, words could be it, poetry, music, even just the sound of music, like with no vocals, could spark an idea. Just the way, you know, being out here, being close to nature provides so many answers. It's everything. I don't know if you want to riff on that. Like,
Yeah, I think, I once a guy told me that you could get like, because I thought back then that there was such thing as like writer's block, but like now I've learned like over the years, like that doesn't exist. It's like a state of mind. But basically, like I was talking to this person about that, and he was telling me like you could literally get inspiration with like everyday life. And he told me that, I'll never forget, like he told me that there was a book that this guy made, and it was just about a blade of grass, and it's a whole book, like a whole actual book. And that's just to say, like, literally you could write about anything,
Yeah.
like anything. And I just still find it crazy that people rap about like shit that doesn't matter,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like
because
blades of grass.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, I just feel like you could literally rap about anything, and it's just like take inspiration from everyday life,
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree totally, completely everything they said. It's like what I was thinking too, you know, you really can't get inspiration from anything. And yeah, it's just amazing, you know, really how the world works. Like everything around you really is like a part of you, you know, and even if like you don't even think about it too, sometimes it's like, I don't know, you're just making something out of nothing, which is crazy to me too, you know, like, I don't know, sometimes we'll just hear like a sound or something, we're like, oh dang, that reminds us of like, I don't know, when I used to do something 3 years ago, you know, but I want to make this now, you know, and it's like new, you know, but it's like still familiar. Like it's just, you know, it's endless, you know, really with everything around you and being influenced by, you know, everything is just, yeah, it's infinite, you know, infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing why it was so hard to place the influence, because there was everything. Shit, yeah.
It's literally everything you put in a blender. I have like so many artists that I look up to. I have so many different musical tastes that I like. It's mainly hip hop and, you know, rock or whatever, but it's mainly hip hop, jazz, everything, poets.
Right.
But everything just put it in a blender, and that just, it made us, you know. There's so many people. Like if you hear inspiration from there's 10 other things that added to why it just sounds a little different.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, this is something I wanted to ask you guys. So before you guys met, you guys were rappers before you met?
Yeah.
And were you guys as, like, topical or speaking about the same things that you guys are speaking about now? Was there, like, did you go through, like, a mumble rapper phase or anything like that? Like,
No, we both grew up on like conscious rap and conscious hip hop. So and
They've
like
always been dope.
don't go look up the old videos.
you know, not everything we said was like crazy lyrical, crazy conscious or whatever. Or like maybe it was more like, you know, just rapping to rap or whatever. Like I used to battle rap too, so a lot of my shit would be like, I'm the best, I'm the dopest, this and that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, which is, you know, rap is a lot of braggadociousness, but there would always be like hints in there about like, oh, military spending, oh, immigration, drugs or whatever, like drug, you know, addiction and yada yada yada. And we were both on like pretty much the same tip. And when we met at a show, we met at a show, so that's when we were like, you know, and then became friends, and now we're more than friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, like. Was it? I'm sorry. Before,
Yeah, no, I feel like we've always been talking about like real shit, but obviously, you know, like there was like the offbeat, you know, or offbeat, or like it wasn't as like
polished,
well written, but I feel like we always had that message, really. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I think we've always been on that tip.
Yeah. Her debut project that her debut album was called Saving the People, and it had a lot of like topics on there. The main song was called Saving the People, and it talked a lot about like the 2016 presidency and immigration policies, and you know, just rappers, you know, glorifying the wrong things. Very much what we do, because both of us were like big Immortal Technique fans, like growing up and getting into like this type of music. And I grew up on what is it, Dead Prez and Gangstar, and Wu-Tang was like one of Jizza from Wu-Tang. When I heard Liquid Swords, that was one of the first things, and that's not even like crazy like conscious or whatever, but that's it was just a different rap, you know what I mean? Like then my mom was into a bunch of like, my mom was into everything, so that's why I got an eclectic thing. But she was super on like West Coast hip hop, you know, Ice Cube, NWA. She would listen to Eminem and shit, just like the pop and stuff, and Rage Against the Machine, everything, Morrissey, The Smiths, everything, Smashing Pumpkins. But she dated somebody that was like a Wu-Tang fan. and they were playing that music, and I was like, "What is this?" You know,
Right.
And that's what kind of got me into it. So, all these like artists that are just different, you know, than the status quo per se, got us to like be this. So when we were individual artists, we were already we were on that tip of like what happened to hip hop? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think from like the start of it, I'm like, all these artists are wet, you know? Like,
for sure.
Super against like mainstream stuff. Or whatever.
No, I feel that. I know, cause like it's interesting, cause like I feel like conscious rap doesn't really like. I feel like it kind of comes with like a stigma, you know, and like obviously you guys are having like a really, you know, well deserved like level of success that is like, you know, where the people are like recognizing like, you know, that you guys are not. I mean, like there's so many different types of conscious rap, but like what has it been like? Why do you think you guys have been able to like break through? You know, because like a lot of these like people who are trying to be like conscious rappers, they don't really like end up seeing like any level of success. Do you think it's like, what do you think that is that's allowed you guys to kind of like break out of that?
There's a few factors, and I can't like break down the exact science of it, but one, we're making the type of noise that can't be ignored right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's something that will be like, if you're listening to it, it'll get caught in your ears, you know? We try our best to do that. Social media is the hugest thing. You know, we've been very fortunate to have online success and people who have agreed with the message. A lot of times it's literally the message. One thing, this is for every artist out there, you should put captions on your videos and lyrics, because so many people scroll through their phone without without sound.
Without the sound.
Because I don't know, they're
on the bus.
They're on the bus or somewhere. They don't have headphones
in the break room.
They're not going to have it full volume.
Yeah.
So I think since what we're talking about, people will like see it. You have to have an interesting shot off the bat, you know, because play with people's eyes, you know.
Yeah.
And then they'll start reading the lyrics, and then from there they can make an assumption like, is this what I want to listen to? Whatever. Bam, they click on it. Then they like the music.
Right.
And that's what happens a lot, you know. Or, you know, it happens with just people just passing by through Spotify or whatever. But whatever. Aside from the point, I think there's been so many factors of why it has been successful now. But I think collectively, like, I think the world, a lot of people are getting more authentic. Like, I think we're having like a societal like shift of people like not caring as much as what they wear, their appearance, or like you know, things like that, and just trying to become more authentic. And I think even with the whole AI stuff and all this like this digital age, I think people are craving for that like authentic human. And that's why even in our music, a lot of it, like, we want it to sound the best, but we'll leave those little raw imperfections in there a lot of times. This project, ironically, right here, we did this all live takes with our band.
Oh shit, no way.
Because when you go into a studio with the band, you're supposed to be on a click track. You get the drums and then you layer it, and then you keep layering it. And that didn't seem natural because we thrive on live shows. We've all, like, before we even were putting out a bunch of music, we'd have a few songs out. We were just doing live shows. That's why, like, you could see it now when we go to these shows. That's why it is what it is, because there's just so much practice, so much going to open mic, so much dues that we paid just to come on the mic correct. And even still now we criticize ourselves, like, after the performance, we're like, oh, we could have done better. But like, you know, that true authentic nature is why I think that project is doing what it's doing. And we felt it at the time, like, this can't be like something stiff. This needs to be how we would do it live. And I think people are really gravitating that in a world where people are starting to glorify like DIY initiative that people make on things. So many of those factors, I think, just the authenticity, I think that's what people really why they've helped us. And I think like people like y'all helping us come out here and giving us a space so that our support people can collide and come in the same room together. And then just know that this is all authentic, just real people, real connections. This is not, we paid for no marketing at all in our whole thing. No diss to anybody that does, but this is literally like a grassroots movement by the people, for the people, and people are feeling it. And if you don't, and I think that's another thing, along with the people that heavily support it, there's a lot of people that don't support it and that are against it because politics, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that wave of like controversy is also what fuels how much traction it gets online and how much people, because it starts a conversation. So hey, at the end of the day, like we'll be that I don't know, that talking point that's something that people put on a pedestal to either judge or praise, and it is what it is because we have the privilege to use our freedoms that we have to speak up for people. So
Right.
so we will. So to answer your question in a super long-winded way, I think it goes back to just authenticity, rawness, and just good music.
Yeah.
I feel like one more thing too is like consistency too. It's
Yeah.
like really one of the main things. Like, because you can put out something in one day, you know, and be like, wait a whole week, you know, or 2 weeks, and it's like, you know, a lot of your stuff isn't gonna get, you know, picked up. Versus like you drop a song, you drop it like the next day, you know, it's like you put it out there more than platforms and people can see it, which they do a very good job at being on that consistent side, because they'll stack on videos, they'll stack on so many different ideas, and they're just ready, you know, they're just ready, you know, to put out the next thing or three things in one day, you know. So, and just doing it often, even if some videos flop and they don't do that as well, it's like, you know, don't feel like discouraged or nothing. It's like, okay, all right, this video didn't do well, what can I do next, you know, and then just stay on top of it, you know. So I feel like
to go off of that, like there's so many videos that we've done that were really bad, like content, like it was like,
Oh yeah.
yo, like what are we doing? And we kept going, like we kept posting, and we're not shy about like posting about a song like multiple times. We're not shy about it, because I think that's what artists are kind of scared of, is like to annoy people, which no, like this is a piece of art, and literally like there's so many people in this world that haven't heard, let's just say, a single you put out, like that haven't heard that.
Right.
Maybe not even 1% of this world knows of one of our popular songs. I don't know. Like, you know, so it's important to like continue to just put it in their face, like because you like it, not because you want, like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta love it. But I'm just saying, for like, if you do want to get like out to more people, like don't be scared to you know, keep posting it.
100%. Experiment with it, like post 30 seconds of that song. If you see that it didn't do well, post a different 30 seconds of that song. Post a minute of it. Post 45 seconds. Figure out what people are liking. I think as artists, it's so easy to like just be overcritical. You hear the song. You wrote the song. You practice it a bunch of times. You recorded it. It went into the mixing stages. You're listening to the mix. You're sending notes back. By the time you even put the song out, you've heard it like 150 times. The world has not heard it at all yet. And you're already annoyed of it slightly, even though it's a baby to you and something that you love. You just have to be like, okay, let me get past that. People haven't heard it. It didn't do good the first few videos. What can I do better? You know, put that out. If you have an album, you know, just put a bunch of different, a bunch of pieces of songs from different songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bunch of different clips from different songs. Rotate them out. Something will end up popping off. Like if you're a good artist and you're making good content, something's gonna pop off. It has to. You know.
I totally feel that, like with like people, like art as an artist, like you getting tired of your like your own track or something, getting too used to it, and it's like you feel like that feeling is what everybody else is gonna feel when you put it out, you know, and you're like, oh man, you know, like I don't know, but you just got to know that it's fresh and new for everybody's ear, you know, when you put it out, you know, and you got to remember the moment that you were making that, it was like dope, you know, so like you got to keep that energy and let that flow, you know, and just keep pushing it.
100%, yeah. And because it's so easy too, if you're like, it's like you're saying, like annoying people, it's kind of like, it's so easy just to scroll to the next video if you've already seen it, but like
exactly,
but you're, you know, if that's a new person, they're gonna stick on and check it out, right? And maybe they like it, maybe they don't. It's like you're saying, sometimes like the hate comments also help too, right? Like, it's just like all publicity is good publicity. But I think it's interesting what you're saying, because I think like a lot of like conscious or like, you know, like pure, I don't know, there's so many different words that sound so shitty to describe like people who are passionate about hip-hop, let's say like that, right? There's so many people that are like, oh, I'm not gonna do the TikTok, the Instagram thing, because it's like they view it as like commercial, but it's like then you seed that ground to the people who are you know, obviously like the people that you don't want to be like, right? And yeah. Sorry, do you have something?
No. I was agreeing with you. But no, 100%. I think what we used to do is we used to like mimic the content that we saw on TikTok that went crazy. Like, I don't know, like, look at our new song.
Summer single.
Did we? Hey, chat. Did we just make the next banger? No, like at some point, I think we were just trying out so many things, and one of the things that popped off our first viral video was literally just a video of us on stage with the lyrics on there.
Right.
And that was, and then we were like, oh, people just want to hear the music. They just want to hear the music. It was, and the kids say off this project, and it was at Thought Fest in Ontario, California, and it was a super sick hip hop fest. I think Farside was headlining it. That
nice.
So
man.
it was just a cool thing. We were with our band, and it was a good performance, and we got a video of it, and we posted a 40-second clip. And overnight it hit 100,000 views, and that was the first time we ever got that. And then it just kept going up,
right?
And it was so much love. And then there was started to get a bunch of hate and even death threats on there. Like, it was a whole wave of emotions, and it was the first like time that happened. So it was very overwhelming. And it was my verse too. So it was just straight. There was nobody else that they could direct it at. So
like, we don't know this guy. He's just a feature.
But yeah, I think that was like something that is like very overwhelming, but. You know, once you just really realize that, who is this for? You know, this is for the people that support us. I'm not rapping to change. Well, you know, I'd love to change the minds, but I'm not rapping for the people that are not with the message.
Right.
If this message or if this song is dope enough that it will make people like reconsider, you know, their racist ideology or something, like that is 110% what I would love to do. But this is for the people that need it, you know, that need that message out there, and just keep putting the thing out, and then after that we just started like turning off our notifications, just leaving the message one on, because I don't need to see every single comment before, because it would lead to a lot of things where like, you know, you're just looking at your phone, you're like, oh yeah, you feel like you're the shit, you feel so dope, you know, and then somebody will just come and be like, this is so trash, I hate Mexicans and I hate you, and I'm like, what is going on? You know, and then you spend like, I know, right, and you spend a minute and you're looking at it, you're like, I'm gonna message them back.
It's pretty heavy. I'd say like anyone that's happening to, you gotta turn off your notifications, because it's like, well, we're really sensitive. I don't know if like other people are very like tough on that, but we're humans, so we're like, damn, well, that sucks.
For sure.
I think we're just sensitive, but
very sensitive.
It is heavy. It's pretty heavy when you're getting like a bunch of love and you're like, wow, this is amazing. And then you get hate. Like one hate will be like, like it'll just shut your mood, you know, down. But it's okay, you know.
100%.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Because you guys are like, from what I understand, like you guys were making like a lot of like this album and working on these songs like before like you were starting to see like, you know, these numbers and you know, it's like you guys are getting responded to, or like the response that you're getting is from stuff that you were doing based off your like, you know, your own internal motivations and internal instincts, but now all of a sudden it's like, here's all these opinions, good, bad, whatever, right? You know, and it's like, I think what you're saying is very important to like, you know, like learn how to try and like take that out, because it's like that negative comment can maybe like, if you think too hard on that, it's like the next time you're writing, it's like, oh, do I want to say something that's going to have to make me stand on like that opinion, you know, like what kinds of things, just based off of like the whirlwind of like out external input that you guys have had, like how do you, is it just turning off notifications, or do you have to like, you know, come back to like a place mentally to get away from that? Like how do you guys deal with that without just like not looking at your phones, like, because I'm sure it still reaches you somehow, right?
Yeah, actually recently, not to put more in there, but like recently a lot of people were like sending us death threats because one of our videos for our song Start a Fire features this amazing artist, Damage, and they're transgender, and a lot of people were like hating all of us for that, and we love Damage. But yeah, a lot of people were like sending us like death threats, like straight like DM, like not even okay, like there was comments, but then there was like the DMs, like, and just people like super hateful, just crazy, you know. And this was all happening while we were like somewhere else. We were in Seattle, I think, and we were doing
Forever Fest.
Yeah, we were doing Palestine Will Live Forever Fest, and we were to the point where we were at this show, and I felt, I don't know how they felt, but I felt like I might get shot today because like just how intense it was. And then there was like pages that were reposting us that were like, what were they? What were the pages?
They were like far right wing Twitter pages.
Yeah.
But all the videos and sharings amassed to like, I think it was like 3 different pages that shared it. The first page that shared it, in hours, it got 3 million views. Mm-hmm. Another page shared it and got like 2 million, and another one got like 4 million. So it was like,
and then they like said their caption to it was like, the neighborhood kids transgender band are what? Oh, transgender band.
Transgender, so they, and so there's a featured artist on there. We're getting all the heat for it. What are
again? You're like, we don't know them. No, I'm just kidding.
Our homie Damage killed that verse.
And that was a crazy verse. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know, honestly, the verse is very violent, right? It's it's calling out like higher ups, and it has very witty wordplay, very close to like battle rap, where they're like, "I got the AR."
For sure.
Like
it's
some
hard.
But it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I don't know. Some people like will take that and like, we make this music and people will say like some stuff like that, but that's so that they don't do that in real life. You know what I mean? Nobody, or I mean, maybe back then it was probably different, but I don't know. Like a lot of people have kind of just bypassed everything Eminem has ever said. You know what I mean?
No, for real.
He's like he said some crazy, like Kim, like that whole song is about like, killing his wife type thing. But did he ever do that? No. You know what I mean? This is like this expression. So people like took it as like,
so
they were like
literal,
tagging the FBI in that post.
And then so now I'm remembering the caption was like, the neighborhood kids transgender band said 187, which translates to kill a cop. Watch out, everyone.
And then they also said they're coming for Elon Musk and this. I was like,
they're crazy. But so when that happened, I don't know how y'all were feeling
I felt
again.
the same. I was like,
but I felt like, oh shit, like this might be the end, like because you're in a public area, and then maybe I watched too many things or read too much, but I thought we were gonna like get shot or something, But I was like, you know what? Well, hey, we're speaking the truth, and I will die with this message. Right, I'm not gonna silence because, you want to kill me now, But we had a really kind of like, that event actually healed us. So I feel like, first off, music is always the all-time healer, and then second, being at that event like showed us like, whoa, like this is why we do this. Like there's people that are literally suffering like in all types of parts of the world, but we were at Palestine Will Live Forever. So Palestine, again, like they're going through just like crazy traumatic stuff, like children, and innocent people, and putting like, we are so privileged, like, you know what I mean, like we're not suffering here, we're not, nothing like that, not even 1% of that is like happening to us, you know what I mean? So just being like grateful, being surrounded by so many people that love the cause, love the message, love what it's about, and also love music. And just, I feel like that's the ultimate like healer. I feel like that event like healed us, because we were really going through it. Even in the beginning of the event, I was like, I was like being so vigilant, like even like I wasn't trying to tell people like our set time because I was tripping out like mentally. No. I was like kind of, but that's what they want. They want you to be scared.
Absolutely, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah,
they want you to be scared. So. Yeah.
Well, the answer to that is community. Community is really.
Community is the healer.
We're building our community worldwide. So we're in another country right now talking to you. This is community right here. So
yeah, and like people were in the crowd knowing every word, you know, and like not just like mouthing it, like fucking screaming it passionately, right? Like
that was nuts. Yeah. Like there was a section where they somebody had like half green hair, half brown hair, and the other person with blue hair. They knew all the lyrics. Yeah. And I was like, these are my people. And then there was some of like the straight hip hop people just right when Bitty Bomb came on, they were like, oh, like rapping it with us. That's just something that like we could only dream of. That's part of your earlier question, like what we just hugged. I was like, yeah, this is everything we talk about. Also, this is like we put out like our like upcoming like shows tour flyer, you know. This is the last stop on that flyer.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And it was like, we did that, you know. This is the most booked we've been ever in our life, and we made it happen. Like I remember like in August, like we just had so many bookings, and I was like, yo, this is gonna be a lot, you know. And it all like and we're going on tour next month, you know. It's like it's really happening.
Yeah, 100%. I know. I always like think about when like I get like overwhelmed with things that are happening, and like you have, you know, like just like weeks in a row where you're like barely getting like a good night's sleep, and you're just like hustling. It's like you're like you have these moments where you're kind of like, oh fuck, like this is too much. Like I need to like step back, but then you're like, fuck, this is what I always wanted. This is what I always like was dreaming about, you know, and just like you know, it's kind of like the balance of that. But yeah, I think it's really interesting when you guys are talking about, because especially with like just like the negative responses and like, you know, and how people react, because it's like on one hand you're seeing like this negative reaction to what you guys are saying, but then at the same time you're showing up in these cities and standing on stages and feeling like the love that's coming from the crowd of like people who are like supporting you. And I think it's like I think that there's a lot of people who like there's a lot more people who have the humanity within them to recognize the things that you guys are talking about and to agree with that than the other side. I think the other side is just very vocal and annoying online, you know? And it's like, I mean, like, but at the same time, like, you're seeing, like, in the United States, especially right now, like, there literally is an attack on the free speech and expression of people who are, like, talking about the same things that you guys are talking about. And, like, do you guys ever think about, like what, you know, like if the neighborhood kids, like get the attention of like politicians, like do you guys, I mean, I can't see you guys backing down or worrying about that, but like, you know, there's like, you see things like people getting deported because of an op-ed they wrote or something like that, you know, and it's just like, I'm sure, like, how does that make you guys feel?
You know, I haven't thought too much about it because I just feel like we're safe and protected. Yeah. You know, I feel like the community that we have will really, you know, just help us out when the time comes, if that ever does happen. But, you know, I don't think that will. But be at the rapid state of, like, you know, fascist regime pretty much going on right now. It does get in your head. And I think that... like if it happens, it happens. Let's find out when it happens. We have, you know, we're all good people doing good people for the thing. So I have faith that the universe is our ancestors will keep us protected and guide us in the right directions. And at the end of the day, it's gonna be like, I think, in some type of way, if it does happen to where they're like, oh, lock them up or like send them away or something like that, like I think it'll cause some sort of uproar with
definitely.
Where it's and then if they like look at like our records and it's all like clean, like they're gonna like, what was the issue? You know what I mean? Oh, it's because they said words that y'all didn't like. They said the truth that y'all didn't like. You know, I think it'll really cause like some controversy, some debate. I'm not saying it like on putting us on the highest pedestal. Like if anything happens to us, the world's gonna go crazy. No, but it's
burn. We're setting fires.
But there will be a lot of people that will rage for us, and you know they should be ready for that if they try. But another thing too is that how do you say it? Aside from that, they like if they do anything, the people are coming.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And I lost my other thought, but
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because like it didn't really get publicized too much, but you guys know Kneecap, right?
Okay,
yeah.
that's actually a segue for
Okay.
what I was going to get into. That's what I was getting to. Is Kneecap? They did. I think it was Coachella or something. I'm pretty sure, and they went on the stage. I'm gonna say maybe it wasn't Coachella, but they went on a stage and they put, you know, Israel is complicit in genocide and all these things on their back monitor, and they had to go to court with Britain, and they recently just won in
Right.
court
They
with
just
Britain,
got
had the
their
best lawyers.
Charges dropped, right?
Charges dropped for terrorism, and it's just crazy in a world where that could happen to artists. And another artist, Bob Vylan, in the UK, they were at Glastonbury Festival, one of the biggest festivals, and it was live on BBC TV, and they had a chant that was death to the IDF, and you could take that in anything. It could be just like death to that system, and maybe he's not saying exactly death to those, but that was a chant, death to the IDF. And we're fortunate enough to know this artist named Grandson, who's actually from Canada, but is in the U.S. and they're touring. They have a great album they're on tour with. Bob Vylan had a U.S. visa to go on tour with them for their North American and U.S. tour. And they got their visa revoked because some politicians posted it online that we shouldn't let these people in. And it was actually an actress that posted it, the wife of Ray Romano and the Everybody Loves Raymond show. And she's like, we don't want these people in our country. And then a senator posted it, and they publicly did it. And you're not supposed to, you know, put people's visas publicly out there, but now it's like it's to make like a spectacle and things, and it's supposed to get artists to be scared of
100%.
bringing truth to power, because that's the first thing that in any dictatorship uprising is the first thing they go after is the truth, you know, obviously squash it, and the truth keepers and the truth bringers, you know. So these people have big platforms, and they were like, let me silence them. And these people are losing in either the courts or they're losing in the eyes of the public, you know. So yeah, I know that stuff could happen too, but we'll face it when it happens, because I mean, just like worrying about the death threats, you could worry about it so long, but unless it's your face to face, that you can't really do anything besides your preparations. And if you're just sitting wondering if it's gonna rain and be like, afraid of the rain or something like that, you're just gonna stay inside. But you have to go outside and face the weather however it comes. So that's how we're gonna approach it, and we'll just keep doing our thing. And obviously we're not gonna be, you know, extremely violent in our lyrics. We're just gonna say the truth. And however that affects you and however you take that, that's up to you and your discretion. Because if you get upset that the truth sounds how it is, then that says a lot about you, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I know. I think
Kneecap.
Well, I think like there was actually like a guy in the Canadian government. I don't know if this was actually official policy, but there was a guy in the Canadian government who said that Kneecap was not going to be allowed into Canada for their tour because of the whole like the court case that they had in the UK. And I just like it, just like it, that type of shit, just like it's unbelievable to me, honestly. That like it just, I can't believe that like we're in a time and place where that kind of stuff is happening, where like we're literally like removing these freedoms that people have to express themselves. And it's like there's literally fucking people sending missiles into apartment buildings full of people, and it's like people that are talking about it are getting condemned by the government, but yet our government can't make a statement about like condemning the actions of the missile.
Yeah.
or the people launching the missile. It's
100%.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable to me. So, and
They're all in it. Everybody profits off of it. So
100%.
that's they don't want to hurt their own pockets, and
100%.
that's why when people go against it, it scares them because they're not gonna live as lavish, or that money's not gonna trickle down
Yep.
to those politicians that protect everything going on
Yep.
for the higher up people. And America's like the number one complicit in it, but everyone in the world that keeps their eyes on it is also complicit in it, and every country that also benefits from it and siding with these oppressive governments is a part of it.
Yeah,
It's all a part
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, and it's like because it's like when you're just talking about the death threats too. I was just thinking like it's a death in another way to like submit to that in a certain way, like to to be like, okay, well, yeah, we're not gonna make political music anymore. We're not gonna make like music addressing these things or expressing ourselves. It's like you're already dying at that point. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I honestly didn't really think too much about like how there is like an actual risk or like that, like you are like putting yourself out there. And like I think more than anything, like the more people that do that, the less that people are going to have to deal with the consequences, right? Like the less that people are going to have to be made an example of, because it's like that you can't fucking lock all of us up,
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can fucking try, but
100%.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that where it gets into, but even then, not really. But if you get to like a certain platform,
Yeah.
like Kehlani is somebody who's been very vocal on a lot of the struggles going on, but specifically Palestine and Congo and Sudan. But the Palestine stuff, like since she has a huge platform, I think she has like I don't know, in the tens of millions or even more. I don't know, but we actually did a festival that she was on there too, and it was nuts because there was a promo page around this time that says, and it was in San Diego, and they were like, boycott Kehlani at the Pride Festival in San Diego because they are anti-Semitic and they are this, they are that, because they support Palestine. Is
Right,
crazy, you know,
right.
because they're anti-Zionist, which is not anti-Judaism, because Zionism is a political ideology,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Judaism is a religion. It's it's just, they're not secular.
100%.
It's not the same. So it's just crazy. And then feel free to fact check me on this one, but like Semitic is also people that speak Arabic. So all the people in Palestine are Semitic.
Yeah.
So what is anti-Semitism at that point?
100%.
So yeah, it's just wild. But where I was getting to on that is that she has a huge platform, so that's what scares some people.
Yep.
Us, like we have a big platform, like in the lives of a lot of people, but into the eyes of like even bigger than that, it's like it's just a speck to some people, but to us, it's everything. But it's, I don't know, maybe it'll get to the point where it's just so big that it is a threat to them, and then maybe something like Kneecap will happen. But we'll be ready for it,
Oh, yeah.
we'll be ready for it.
Yep.
The people will come together, because this is all about, like, we're really trying to just build a worldwide community, not for us but for the people, and we'd want to be a part of it. That's why I love being in the crowd last night with everybody, because it was like, I am not on a higher platform than y'all. The only reason why I do like being on the stage or whatever is because we're so short and not everybody can see us. You know what I mean? So like, we're so short. So like, I just feel bad for the people in the back that just can't see us. But
So it's so funny. There was a couple times where I was like stepping back to bring water to like the camera people, and like I was like, oh shit, where did they go?
Right.
Where's the middle of the circle? I don't know what's happening.
you can't even see us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
aside from that, it was a beautiful moment. But we just want to be on the same level as everybody. I think since we've gotten, we're like 180K now on Instagram.
186.
Yeah, 186K
now, yeah.
on TikTok. We're at 400,000 people people on there, and it's
Incredible.
wild because like we've been doing the same music, but now some people will like treat us better when they meet us, and like I don't know, almost like some people get nervous meeting us. Like,
Yes.
oh my god, I can't believe I'm
It's a
talking to
new
you right now. And I'm
experience
like,
for us.
I'm
Yeah.
nervous.
I know.
right?
I'm like,
They
what?
don't know we are
Such a new
like-
experience.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
yeah. I'm like, please just
We're
treat me
like
like.
literally nerds.
It's-
Like honestly,
It's
we're-
crazy too. Some of the shows too, when we started like getting our numbers up, like we started going to some shows, and then like a lot of the shows would have like vendors and stuff, and we'd just be walking, and they're like, "Oh, you can have this for free. We love you. You're
Yeah.
famous." And
Yeah.
then we just walking, and people just giving us like a bunch of free stuff, which is like. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, they're super generous, extra
Right.
nice, like everybody. So
I
like,
know.
it's just so new, I'm
Right.
just like,
right. I know. I feel like
I don't know how to
I kind of like
feel
when
about
people,
it, but it's just
I
like,
kind of like it when people don't know,
Yeah.
just treat us like no. I like going to like restaurants or stores, and it's just like it is what it is. But then like I don't know, it's just weird because I feel like sometimes people would like I don't know either give us attitude at shows or whatever, like some of the promoters or whatever when we were coming up, and I'm like now that we have this amount of whatever, we're still pretty much as dope as we were back then.
Right,
But
right, yeah.
you're like I don't know, it's weird,
Yeah.
that's a weird part.
Yeah. I know. I feel like every up and coming rapper has the experience where like especially early on where you like show up to like a show you're playing and you like get pressed at the door. They like, you know what I mean? They're performing like it's like, you know what I mean?
Like, bro, please.
Yeah, like I'm on stage now. Like I'm late, let's go. Yeah, that's a classic moment. Yeah. So how has it been like because you were saying you're a fan of Immortal Technique and like
yeah.
and I guess you didn't know who Zach De La Roca is, but now you're going on tour with Tom Morello. Like how does that feel like to be kind of embraced by these people of like I would say like have left a legacy that you guys are stepping into of like this kind of music that and this like this. Yeah, like how does that feel for you guys, and like what has that been like, and have you got good advice, and just speak on that if you can.
Man, it's surreal, honestly. It's one of those things where like you always like coming up, you always think about it, and you're always like, I want to be on those things, but to have like some of your favorite artists' phone numbers is just different,
Yeah, no,
it's wild, and even still, like I'm not gonna text them,
Like erasing it, rewriting it,
so shy.
whole paragraph and be like, hey.
what's up?
Nah, but it's an honor. It's everything that
sure.
that we've worked for and didn't even know this is what we were working for. But like being able to like, open up for Immortal Technique. But he was like, I think the first time we asked him, he's like, yeah, come through.
Mm-hmm.
Second time they just reached out to us and they're like, come through and rock
Mm-hmm.
with us again. And then Tom Morello, I mentioned Grandson earlier when we were talking. Grandson was the one that introduced us to Tom Morello because they have a song together. And Grandson, you gotta listen to his music because if you like our music, you'll like Grandson's music. So, and JG has some scratches on there on his new album.
Nice.
And we have some background vocals on there, so it's
Awesome.
kind of a random experience on
Great
that
album.
Awesome.
But yeah, he was the one that introduced us, and then Tom Morello reached out to him for us to be on the show that we did with them. It was like a ICE combating fundraiser in June, and we did it at the Echoplex in LA, and we met him, and he was just so cool. Like it was like, like I don't know. People ask us like, "Was he cool in real life?" The coolest. Like it was literally like an uncle. He just came up and was like, "What's up, guys?" And I didn't know this, but he's 62 now. So like,
damn,
and he's rocking. But he's rocking. Like he put on a great show, like
really
immaculate.
good.
That's everything that like I aspire to be. I aspire to like, like if this is what we're doing now, I can't wait to see like in 20 years from now what it'll be like. Whatever it transforms into. But yeah, just stepping into this level or whatever. I don't know. I feel like we're still doing the same thing. It's just now in front of different stages, different people. But it feels fitting and it also feels like I don't know, out of body experience type stuff. It's like, I like the hat. I know, breaking the fourth wall. There's another person here, guys. Hey, it was so funny. I was trying to contain my laughter when he was crawling underneath the camera.
I was gonna say something like a dog just walked by.
I think we were in like a serious part, so I was like, I cannot break character. I can't break
like
right now.
Smirking,
Crazy.
so funny you guys are getting death threats. Yeah.
I know, he's talking about death threats, bro, was military program.
It's like, there's one of them now.
Watch my back.
Oh man. Yeah, no, so you guys are about to go on tour with Tom Morello?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And actually,
nice.
we just got an opportunity right before this tour to open up for Jizza.
Oh,
For
yeah.
Oh sick.
30th year anniversary for Liquid Swords. And we're gonna be the opener. Right, there's like 4 openers, and we're gonna be the one right before them too. So I'm like, it was crazy because they wanted us to do like the slinging like tickets or whatever, and I don't even know. I'm gonna say it on the camera, but they wanted us to do that, and then we said I don't know why, and then we were like, no, actually we don't want to do that. You know, we're just gonna pass on it. We're gonna do our own show, and then they've been hitting our guy up, Miguel, who's probably annoying Ghetto Fab for logistics, but he's our ride or die right there. He's in our group, but he kept messaging. He's like, is there any way we could make this work? And then he was like, you know, like they'll sell tickets, but no quota, no like pay to play, like just get them on there. That's all they want, you know, just you know, guaranteed merch stand, and it's gonna be at the Garden Grove Amphitheater.
Nice.
I think it's like cap is like 500 to 800, or depending on if it's seating or standing, but it's gonna be sick. I guess it's a 2-night thing, and the first night is the night that we're gonna be at it, and there's gonna be like any of like the Wu-Tang members will come that are like in the area. He's doing it with a live band too, so I think it's gonna be a cool experience. I think all the like the hip hop heads out of LA will be there, and I think it'll be a good place to spread our music and our message. You know, so that's literally right before the tour, like the week before we go on the tour. Is that, and then this tour is gonna be like we're still figuring out logistics because we live on the West Coast and it's all on the East Coast, so
okay,
and we're with our band too. So you didn't get to see us with the band,
right.
It was just us 3, but we rock with a full band, 7 members, including us 3 right here. So 2 guitars, drums, and bass, and they're gonna rock it. But we got to figure out getting all of our stuff there in the most feasible way. I mean, I feel like y'all understand that more because y'all live over here, and if you're getting to the other side, there's so much distance. You know what I mean, like.
We haven't even made it yet.
Yeah, it's so spread out over here that it's like it's not like, you know, the States, but at the same time, like we're so together, but we're gonna be on the whole other side. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have fun figuring that one out.
Yeah, because did you guys do much traveling at all like before you guys have started touring and performing? Like, have you been up to Seattle and these places? And I think Vancouver is like the first time you guys have been here, like the last time you guys were here, right?
Seattle, we got the chance to rock twice last year.
Right.
So, and it was because of the Palestine Forever Fest. They brought us out, and that was the first time that people have flown us out, and we just had like a crazy, you know, experience with the merch stand, and like I think we sold through like 2 suitcases of merch, and it was like whoa, like even this trip it was funny because he saw how much stuff we brought, and it looks like we're moving in here. We just put all of our clothes in a backpack, and the rest of the suitcase is just merch.
Right, right.
Because you never know how much is gonna go, you know. So that was the same thing we did in Seattle, and it went, and that was the first time where we were like, whoa, they flew us out, they got us hotels, they're taking us to and from the venue and to and from the airport. Like, I guess this is what it's supposed to be like. It was beautiful going from like those things where we had to just figure out how to make it to places and stuff, and rock and not make anything, you know, from rocking. We used to like not even sell merch, and it would just be such an L, you know, like to pull up to these shows, and you know, people want to support, you know, and just
you're like, let me just write my name on this t-shirt.
I'll sign your shirt. Your shirt.
But this year was the first time we were able to like go far places. We hit Massachusetts this year because some people just believed in us and you know, made the trip worth our while. And then there was another promoter out there that wanted to do something with us, so we just were able to line up both of those at the same time, and it was sick. It was a beautiful time,
Right.
and ironically, our first time on the East Coast wasn't even New York or where you think it would be. It was in
Right.
Massachusetts.
Yeah,
you know? And not
yeah,
even
yeah.
we didn't even hit Boston. We hit an area that was near Boston called
We hit
Medford,
Lawrence and Medford.
we hit Lawrence. And Lawrence, like things don't happen out there. It's like it's a very small town, but it's a very like town where they're like with the movement. Because
Right.
the whole thing they brought us out for Labor Day because there was a strike like 100 years ago where a bunch of immigrant workers like did a strike on the factories and the textile factories, and every year they've been doing like something to honor that. So yeah, it was cool being a part of that because we're with the people,
Right,
100%.
right.
The workers, the unions, the teachers, the students, everybody, like everybody that's a part of the movement.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like, I like something that I love so much about you guys is like I feel like watching that performance last night. It's like, oh, this is like the message, like capital the message like that you want to see in hip hop, that you like believe it can be possible in hip hop. But it's like, oh, this isn't corny. Like, thank God this isn't, like, you know what I mean? And, like, it's so important to get the message across, but, like, I feel like there's a blend between education and entertainment that you guys are, like, just riding such, like, a very, like, thin line of, like, oh, I'm actually learning and, like, I'm thinking about things in a different way, and I'm, like, being reaffirmed in some of the things I feel, but at the same time, I'm like, let's fucking go! That's such a fucking awesome thing. You guys are it's so refreshing to see. Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, because
For sure.
it is a thin line, huh? Like
Yeah.
being like corny and being like, okay, like this is fire, but
Yeah.
it's also like you're learning or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Education and entertainment.
Yeah,
Yeah. Got it.
because we pay attention to like also like the musical side of things. 'Cause,
100%.
like, yeah, you could be like really conscious and stuff, but then like there's no like musical element
Yeah.
to it that can make you like
Yeah.
really vibe to it. You know?
Yeah. Like people will like stuff because it has a good message, but like it doesn't knock. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Some things have to have the
slap.
right tone,
Yeah.
the right delivery,
Yeah.
the right breakdowns,
Yeah.
that to really create a dynamic like song and
Yeah.
and performance.
Yeah, exactly.
People make great music too that has no substance at all. Like you can listen to it all day,
sure.
but it does nothing for your soul.
No.
But when you're
Exactly.
able to perfectly blend those, now we're not doing perfectly. We're doing the most best that we can.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
when you get to be able to do that in your best, most authentic way, that's when real magic happens, because you have the message and you have the music. One's not more important than the other. They go tandem, hand in hand, and that's what we strive for. So like when we were talking on the couch over earlier, like that's everything we do. Like whatever gets the best song, whatever gets the best project is what makes the final cut.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And actually, I'm remembering too that because JG and I produced, right?
Oh, nice.
And like Third World Problems, which we performed yesterday, and Tomboy, I produced those, and our goal was like, well, at least with Third World, we were like, yo, like we want to make like something trap, like a trap beat, but like say something real, like we're gonna mimic the beat, that it would sound like, but we're gonna actually talk about something. So that was our idea with that one. And then I remember we did a show, and we felt like, was it a show that we did, or was it just me with the Tomboy when I was like,
Where you wanted to make Tomboy?
yeah,
It was somebody else's show. It was at the Ugly Dog. And
yeah, because we did a show, and honestly, like we didn't feel like we did the best,
What it was it was actually a show that she was on,
yeah.
right? And she came, like I said, we've always been doing conscious music. So this was before I even think the Neighborhood Kids. It was before we found out the Neighborhood Kids, and we were still doing solo shows, and we used to do shows as Verde and Amon, and
Right.
just we'd be the plus DJ JG sometimes.
I know.
but specifically this one show, she did like a whole conscious set, spitting, but the crowd just wasn't digging. They did not like it, but it wasn't there. And then our homie Festive, she got up on the mic and she has very like party music, but she spits, but it's it's party music, like it's fun, and like the whole crowd was going nuts, and we were just really like paying attention. And she was telling me, she's like, "Did I do bad?" And I was like, "No, you didn't. I just don't think this is the crowd for it." And then she was like, "How do I make a song like that?"
Yeah, because I was like, the performance was very like, I would say like boom bap,
Right.
So I was like, well, like no one was really like, like, hey, but yeah. And then I saw the other performer go on and I was like, damn, like I want to make people feel like good like that too.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, okay, let's make a beat that's like, it's kind of in that trap feel where it's like, it makes you feel good, 808s and all that. And then JG actually added to the beat, which is actually like this toy that my what is he, like my nephew? Yeah. I'm forgetting like the words, but nephew, yes. He's my nephew, but he got me like this little UFO spaceship thing. And like you click it and it has like this like the sample.
Yeah.
It has this like little alien sound, and we literally like he had the idea. He's damn, like I feel like it needs something, and then you just quickly fucking chopped it.
Yeah, I literally had, because I had my mixer, my Z2, and I could record like from a mic. So I had a mic hooked up because I always do like their back vocals. I'll try to like practice with them. And I was like, oh, I'll just sample this real quick, watch. And I grabbed it, pressed it, and put the mic right there. And then just looped it and put it into my tractor. And then just started like cue pointed it. Like, so I would mark, where I wanted to hear it. And then it just came out naturally. So naturally that like I didn't even have to re-cue point anything. Like it was what it was as soon as it was set. And I was like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
It's so funny because it is like a perfect sample almost.
Right.
Yeah.
And her nephew knows that we make music too, so he literally like was with her mom and was like, Tita, buy this one because she could make music with it, And you press the button on the bottom and it goes, wah, 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 and then it does it one more time in another octave. And then JG just literally like, since it's like there's like spaces in between it, JG just cut out the spaces and would be like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
So that's for like a year or two she was performing Tomboy, and that version's not even out. We just have the band version out, which I'll get into that right now. But for like 2 years or a year, she was performing Tomboy with just drums and bass, and just it's the same beat, just the drums and the bass part of it, and it was going crazy. And then I remember I was hearing like a song, and I was like, it needs like a higher frequency in there. It needs like something in there, like a melody, like right. You have the whole rhythm section here. You need like a melody in there. And then I told her, I was like, I think the UFO would sound good. And JG was like, let's just try it for now, And it was like supposed to be just for now recording. But now that's what it is. So Tomboy, that version's not out yet. And same thing with Third World Problems. Third World Problems is on this record with the whole band. So she'll make beats and then she'll show it to the band and be like, let's turn this into a song. And then the band just, I don't know, just for some reason they're always like, let's make the shit punk. That's how it happens,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of the story on like how another thing too, you'll see that JG actually plays Tomboy live. Like he'll play the drums and the bass, and then he'll do the sample live the whole time.
You were doing that yesterday?
Watch back the footage.
And then it's cool because like sometimes I'll start with like basic stuff, like just like hitting the sample, but then I start like thinking of other ways, and like when the switch ups or their hooks come in and like little things come in, like I'll use the crossfader to start chopping like the sample even more.
Okay,
so like you'll hear certain moments like the energy shifts, when she's doing certain parts. So like when she does when she's like, look at mama no hands, look at mama no hands, I'll do the with it like at the same time. So
like the melody,
the same melody towards it. So
that's awesome, man.
So and it's just so much fun. That was a lot of fun for me. I love playing that one a lot because I feel like I'm like dancing with it too at the same time.
That was the goal to make it like super fun like that. So I'm glad it like gives that energy.
And it was about your, just the feeling of of just being proud of the woman that you are.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. For the
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
Power to the women, viewers
Power to
at
the
home.
women. Yeah.
No, I think that was like one of the coolest parts of last night is that like we obviously like we do the cypher and we've done it for like 3 years, and like there's been like some really awesome female MCs, but there's like not so many female MCs that come out to the cypher, or just like in general there's not like a ton of female MCs
Yeah.
that like get in these environments. And I think it's I love the way that you guys were describing it. It's like so-called male dominated, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But then
yeah.
like you see like there was that lady last night, I didn't catch her name, but
Wiley.
yeah,
Shouts out
yeah.
Wiley.
Yeah, she fucking you know, like, cut to her killing fucking Jake's
Dude, that was so funny, bro.
That was hard.
When I heard it, I was just like
That was
eyes
so
straight over there. I was like, yo.
right?
I think like as like a woman, like just in general, like well, I'm not a woman, so I can't say. But, like,
it's a trans man.
but like I'm talking in her perspective. As a woman, you know, like you're in this field that's very
Yeah.
male dominated. So I
and
think
he's seen it
Yeah,
too.
oh,
I don't
100.
know if you're about to go into
that's actually
that.
not where I was going to,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm talking about Wiley's perspective. Like I think Sunny Boy like mentioned something like freestyling about her, and I think like immediately she was like, "Oh, this person's dissing me. I'm going into battle." Because like I feel like a lot of times
Yeah.
like they're on defense because everybody's on offense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see it like a lot. Like we would do shows and like people won't talk to her, and then they'll just talk to me like I'm the only face
Well,
of
like,
the group. You know?
Now it's
Now it's different. Now it's different.
better.
It's
but
all-
like I feel like way before, like people would not even look at me or not even like okay, we're approaching some people and they would like just like talk to him and like I'm a human, man.
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know, like, I feel like any person, like, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or whoever you are, you know. I just feel like it's just respectful to just, you know, say hi to both people if there's two people there. Like, often it happens probably, you notice, like, when, let's just say, like, your homie brings their girl, you
Yeah.
know, and you'll just be talking to the homie, and I feel like it's, you know, not to single people out, but I do think it's like men do that because
Totally.
maybe they don't want to be disrespectful and
Totally.
and like, but I don't think that I think it's disrespectful
Yeah,
to
to,
be
like,
like
disinclude someone.
ignoring like that there's someone there, you
Yeah.
know, and like I feel like that would happen to us a lot where like I don't know if they're just not saying anything to me because they think it's disrespectful because we're dating and like I don't know, they think it's disrespectful, but I feel like it's
It's like
not
more disrespectful
it's
to
more
ignore someone.
but yeah, it would
Yeah.
happen like where people would not talk to me, and then it was super hypocritical because then we would rap. And then they
Oh,
would want
man.
to talk to me, and I'm like,
yo,
"Wait,
that's
no!
wild.
Like
Yeah.
now, I don't want to talk to you because you're being so rude, you know."
Now you want to talk to me?
It's like, yeah, but he's seen it. I'm not going crazy, but no, seriously, it would happen, and I feel bad for like other people that don't rap. Let's
Yeah.
just say, and they're just being like ignored, and just like, why is that? You know?
Yeah.
we gotta
Yeah, talk
respect
to everybody out there, guys.
everyone.
Talk to everybody. Don't leave nobody out.
Exactly, and even more so, it happens with like rappers and their girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a rapper will come up to the show and their girl will be there, and the girl will just be in the back.
I know.
yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah,
like, "What's
bro.
up, man?
I
What's
don't
you know?"
like
and they're just
that. It's
Yeah.
really
It's almost like
messed up.
they're so used to it that they expect not to be talked to, and it's like
Yeah.
I've so many times like I've like dapped
Yeah.
up the like the homie, and then like his girl is like not even like looking because she knows that
Yeah,
it's like no, like I'm like, you know, like
Yeah.
I want to, you know, say like
it's like you're a part of this. You're a part of a
definitely.
conversation.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's
It's
like
probably
while you're
so
together.
much of just like being
Yeah,
treated
that's-
that
Yeah.
way that
Yeah.
you're like, well, here we go again.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, man.
I mean,
you brought up a great point because a lot of times they'll just
Yeah.
do it on. They'll just step back because it's
Oh, I
like
know.
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But you know, I feel like that's, you know, it's on us to like fucking take the step forward and be
Exactly.
like, you know, hello,
Yeah.
what's up? Nice to meet
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We've been doing that now because like
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
because I would
yes.
see it happen to her, I would just make that initiative to just
know.
like make it not awkward.
And
you
now
know?
that there's like, you know, 2 of us, 3 of us, now we're like, yes, like,
Yeah.
We're
oh,
talking
and
to
who's
everybody.
this?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like even if they are turned away, like, you know,
Yeah.
make their presence known. You
Yeah,
know? Like
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
at the merch stand too. Sometimes I notice that there's people waiting for us, but I'll like step to the side and just start talking to like the people that are waiting.
Yeah,
You know, just
yeah.
to because they sometimes be waiting a while, and I'm just like,
Right.
just
So
to start a
hard.
conversation. So you could tell too. Sometimes they're like, been here for a little while, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm like, don't worry, I got you. So I
Yeah.
start talking with them. Oh, what you need? Is there anything you need? Anything you're looking for that you know? How was the
Perfect,
show?
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. So
Yeah, definitely. I know there's like it's
But, yeah.
Sorry.
No. I'm saying I know that feeling, you know, of, like just with, like being
As a
there.
DJ, yeah,
Yeah.
and the producer, right?
Yeah.
That's the fucking
a
that's
lot of people don't know that he's in the group.
Yeah,
with us, so
yeah.
like that's why we always like let it be known. That's why when I started the set, I was like, it's us and
And
DJ
yeah.
JG. So
Yeah.
like look back at him because some people will be like, oh y'all are dope, and JG's right there, and he's like,
Yeah,
he's the
Yeah,
girlfriend.
no,
That's
Yeah,
why he
what's
got the
up? What's
afro
up?
too. If it stands up in the back, you can see it. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
but we're
yeah.
always like, yeah, this
Yeah,
is
no.
our DJ.
I love them.
You
They're
know?
always looking out for me all the time.
Definitely.
Always.
No, I've definitely think you guys like give it up to the DJ more than like a lot of people do. And like
I know.
I mean like but there's some DJs that don't really deserve to get
Yeah.
given
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
scratching and like
Yeah, if you're
like,
just a button pressing DJ,
yeah.
space bars,
Yeah, right,
click.
I love them. Yeah, they pressed me to. Well, not pressed me, but they like influenced me to like do the routine.
He wasn't gonna do it
because I
last
wasn't
night.
gonna do it.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just like I don't know, you know. Like,
No,
I don't know.
no, man,
but
that
they're
was-
like I'm happy to have them because I think I don't know if this is good or not good. I don't
Yeah,
know, you
yeah,
know. And
yeah.
then just get in my head, But they help me out with that. They're like, nah, do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll do it.
JJ wasn't gonna enter the cipher last night either.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
wasn't
bro,
gonna do
get
the
in
cipher.
there.
Dude.
Yeah, but they influenced me and like pushed me to do that kind of stuff. So I feel good, and I feel better about myself. too,
100%. Changing the narrative on girlfriends and JG. So everyone is getting brought in. 100%.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, JG actually stands for just girlfriend.
Yeah, that was a quick one. You came up with that real quick.
Oh man, yeah. No, I think it's really interesting, like, because I think one other thing I was gonna say about like just the space that you guys are making for like people who are not necessarily like put forward in hip hop all the time is like there was Wiley, and then there was another lady that was there last night who rapped who like I feel like got the biggest pop of like the whole night. She was rapping over like the jar of like 101 rap 101 beat,
Oh,
and
sick.
she murdered. Like it was just like and like we always like are saying like over and over and over again like we need more female MCs, like we need them to like be in the cypher and bring that energy. It's part of the reason why we have like been working with these dance crews too, is because like that energy is just like so needed.
Yeah,
And like
definitely.
other women that come to the cypher, I feel like they feel more included and they feel more kind of comfortable when they can be around other women too, and kind of have that camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like not that it like you have to be like, oh, you're a woman, so be with other women, but like it's like I think it just kind of adds to the whole, and then you guys also like mention queer people as well, and like make that a part of it. And I was on the live feed for a while you guys were performing and just on Icon Hip Hop, and there was someone, I think their username was like Spiritually Inclined or something like that, but it was like as soon as you brought that up, they were like, "Oh, I'm queer." Like I can't believe that they're like mentioning this. And then I think they're a fan too, because like you guys
So
were
dope.
like doing an intro to the song, and before the beat or anything came on, they're like, "Tomboy." Like, it was about to drop, and they're like, they knew. Yeah.
I love that, especially in hip hop. I feel like what is it like? It's very
Homophobic?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Homophobic space, and I'm like, bro, people are people, and there's people that like. If someone's got bars, they got bars. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Like our, just our home. We got homies that like they're either transgender or queer, gay,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. By the end of the day, we're all humans. And shout out to Bobby Sanchez. They're
Yeah, Bobby Sanchez.
in indigenous culture, they trans was called like two-spirited like individuals because they didn't line with the the norms of what was feminine or masculine, and they just kind of tiptoed on both spectrums of it. So like it goes like way back into the past, you know, like of it's an ancient thing, you know.
Yeah.
Bobby Sanchez says that in there. Like they have a lyric that says, I can't tell you which culture invented gayness because that culture is ancient. Because like where did it come from?
I mean, it's in the fucking Bible for a reason, right?
Yeah,
Like
no one-
I'm like not in a good way, but like you know what I mean?
Yeah. No one knows. So like it's like we hold space for literally everybody because the revolution is gonna be everyday people. It's gonna be every person, and if you and excluding people that are your community, why? You know when this thing is literally for everybody. And I don't, you know, if you don't want to rock with us because we want to rock with everybody. You know, you don't deserve to be a part of the community.
Sure.
So like I'm glad you shout that out. We always try to shout that out or put that out there, make people feel welcome at these shows because I feel like especially in hip hop shows, like it's easier for a lot of people to feel unwelcome. Like not even just the queer people, but even like a lot of women don't want to come to hip hop shows because how male dominated it is and how aggressive it could sound or whatever. But and like you know, like we try to like have as many shows that are all ages so that kids come there, even though our stuff's very in your face or whatever. Like we see like kids dancing in the front row and shit. Yeah. That's everything to us is making a safe space for everybody. So
and to have that like representation too, because like you know you see like how you're saying like one of our friends, her name is Femina Fatal, and she's like from Tijuana, and she something that she said like still rings in my head, but she's like a lot of women don't want to join like these like ciphers or even like be a producer, be like a B-girl, you know, because it's not really like taught or like kind of like yeah, you should do this, you know, because a lot of people think that's like a man thing, like oh, like you know, like oh, you could be like a rapper, you know, but like once it like comes to like a woman doing it, it's really like rare, but like it shouldn't be. Like it should be something like, you know, that's like just it just is what it is, you know, like it's okay, you know, it's not strange or it's not, you know,
exactly,
but it's cool to have representation because like as soon as they see like a woman rapping, like they feel invited to be like okay, like I could be here, you know, or like a woman, you know, finger drumming, you know, like they're like, damn, like I could do that, you know,
100%,
like, or a little girl even like seeing that, being like, oh, I want to be like that, you know. It's good to have like representation to be like, damn, I want to do that when I grow up, or even now, you know.
Because it's possible, you know.
Exactly.
Like anybody seeing something and just like that extra motivation that it is possible, you know. And I think another thing to add too is just like weird and like just culturally or whatever. Like it seems like men will like want to like predatorily like you know try to get something out of like a woman that's in that space or whatever, whether it's like whether it's like an engineer or whatever, and they're like recording like a woman that they think is attractive, and then they're like want to make it into like something like bro just like that's why people don't want to join these spaces or even do music sometimes, and that's just a shame when you could have like an incredible artist, you know, but you know
being creepy,
but start being creepy, you know, and it just ain't it.
And it's crazy because actually when I was like just like an individual artist, like I hadn't known him either, and like it's like really scary like doing things on your own, like how he said people will try to make it like sexual when like whoa like I'm just trying to like come here to rap or like to lay a verse.
My verse
Like what? And I don't know, that's happened to me like numerous times like in the past where people made it creepy and it's not okay. It's like not okay. I don't know what that's about, but it's crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's something that like I've heard so many fucking times at this point that it's just like, it's like, I don't know what's going on with engineers these days, but like, we gotta we gotta clean that up, guys. Like, seriously, like, 100%. No. Yeah,
and it's not all of them, but
No,
you know,
no,
there's
no,
there's
yeah.
There's quite a few.
There's quite a
Yeah.
few, you know,
Yeah.
especially in the industry. It's yeah.
It's,
So
even just like people like, oh well, you know, I could get you this if like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like a lot of weird shit.
Weird.
It is weird
Yes.
stuff.
And-
weird, bro.
And then it's like, you know, it's like there's a whole thing in like club promotion or just like show promotion where it's like if there's no ladies there, then there's no men either, you know, there's
Yeah.
nobody there, like
Yeah.
it's like unfortunately it's just like people are gonna go where the ladies go, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
really are the life and blood of like, you know, having a good fucking
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
and it's like we like if you want to, you know, like build a community, like if you leave them out, it's gonna suffer as a result. And
Yeah.
like look at what the women bring, right? Like
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at all of this, you know, super talented MCs, DJs, like dancers, like, you know.
Women
I
bring
lo-
a life too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Literally, yeah.
how last night, like, there was just such a blend of like so many different people
Yeah.
that it wasn't just the same, you know,
Yeah.
like just all dudes, you know, or just all, you know, and I just love how like everybody was just really having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't like discomfort or nothing. Everybody was just there comfortably, like
Yeah.
just having a good time, and it's just that's rare to see, you know, like when like everybody like, and there was just a good mix of just so many different people, like men, women, transgender, like, and it's just like you could just tell like the vibe was great. It was beautiful. It was lovely. So I'm like, to see that, like, it really made me happy. And I was telling him last night, I was like, you know what, like last night was like, wow, like a really like nice mix of like people, like
Yeah.
just really just enjoying the night. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, very diverse. Like,
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are like some people think that when you open up the space or encourage people to have, you know, like encourage women or you know BIPOC or queer people to like have the space to you know open that up to them, that it's like at the same time saying fuck all the white dudes or fuck all the straight men, and it's like no, like you know what I mean?
Come too.
Yeah, for sure,
Well,
for
y'all
sure.
are
Yeah,
discluding
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
Y'all are being the
exactly.
rapper's girlfriend right now. You're stepping behind and being like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not a part of this.
No,
Like,
and it's like, no, you have been a part of this. You always have been a part
Yeah.
of this. But it's like, you know, like we're including these other people, and it's like, yeah, like go meet one of these people. You know, like, go
Yeah.
talk to these people, and like, you know, you're gonna find out that like we have way more in common than you know.
we all have way
separates us.
more in common. Ghetto
Yeah.
Fab and Soul were supposed to go to this show but we couldn't get them in. We did a show called Shebang Fest in Bellingham.
Yeah.
And that one was super cool because it was just all the, you know, the outcast society basically that, you know, camping in the forest and just music lovers and all this stuff. But
Yeah, Soul and Ghetto were too outcasts even for that.
no, we just couldn't get them in. They were like, they said they were like, oh, if they could pick you up from the airport or whatever.
Right,
I was like, bro, they're not gonna cross the border to come pick us up from the airport
Yeah.
the day before the show and then come back or in the camp. There, nah, like you know. But yeah, I know, right? It was a big like extra thing. But anyways, where I was getting to is the promoter that got us on that show. They told us that they've like hit a bunch of like places. They used to be in a band and everything, and they said something that everybody has in common, like from the most conservative people to the most like hillbilly redneck to the most left, you know, colored hair people, you know, like whatever the spectrum, however wide it goes. Everybody has something in common, and that is that they dislike the government, and when the government is fucking with the people. And like I was like, bro, if everyone can just get on that same vibe instead of like letting them put us at odds end against each other, like it would you know, that's just really what they don't want. That's why they have like these headlines and these narratives to make it seem like we're all at war with each other down here, when that's not what it's about. Because you could come to the show last night and you could see that there was no beef going on because everybody was there for a common thing. And if we could come together for common things, we could make a lot of, you know, social changes happen, you know,
100%.
especially like how y'all have the problem with the homelessness on, what is
Hastings,
Hastings. Yeah. We have, you know, San Diego has a big homeless, you know, epidemic. LA is a huge one too. Hastings, I did not know it was that crazy, to be honest with you. You know, and that's something where I'm like, it really made me think like, what could we do as a people to like, you know, make it better, because we fed the homeless a few times, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, but it's very much like putting a Band-Aid on a huge wound, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's a good thing. I'm not saying to not do it, you know. We should do more of it, you know, but it's one of the, how do we and on Hastings, we noticed that there's so many buildings that are, you know, not in use.
Yeah.
Empty buildings, you know, empty businesses, empty buildings that could be utilized for it. And what is the answer? We don't know yet, but we got to start making some changes, you know.
For sure.
I don't even know how that segued into that, but that's what started getting me, you know. You asked earlier, where's the inspiration? It's everything.
Yeah, like the alien toy.
Yeah.
The alien toy.
Yeah, it was a huge.
So you
and
guys
it
gotta send us
It was a
photo of that.
UFO. Yeah,
Yeah.
UFO, green
Hey,
UFO.
if you want to clip it into the video,
For
too, I'll
sure.
send you a little thing of it. It's
For
so
sure.
funny. It's in our drawer with like our shout out Ghetto Fab. We got a drawer with harmonicas. And
Yeah, we're ending this podcast with a harmonica solo.
Yeah, bring out the accordion.
Spotify Ghetto Fab track.
Oh
I need to
shit,
hear
that's getting
it.
released
I need to
publicly.
hear
Clip it in, clip it in.
Yeah.
Clip it in.
The graveyard of guitars.
We're not gonna tell you
Guitar
what,
graveyard.
Yeah, the guitar graveyard. I've never woken up to an accordion before. That was my favorite part about this morning. Yeah. Oh man. I was having crazy dreams after that. Yeah.
You were in Italy. In your dreams.
Oh man.
In a circus.
Yeah.
Italian circus. And you're gonna be like,
Yeah. It's like it's the cipher, but it's only accordions.
everybody
damn,
people
man.
have mini accordions, people have big accordions.
Yeah.
And then Wiley is battling somebody on an accordion.
Oh man, that's a good time. Yeah. I think we've been going for 2 hours. Probably.
No
Wow,
way.
dang,
All right.
legendary.
Everybody at home, we're about to go to
What's up,
Crazy
what's
Bob's
up?
and B Street Records.
Yo, hey, come through.